Chapter 30:16. Carving a Path of Blood and Deterrence 4-inch die. On one of the core planets of the living soul race, Wuxia exuded a violent murderous aura as he charged towards the experts of the living soul race. With terrifying speed and overwhelming strength, Wuxia easily killed 4 7th Order God Emperor realm experts. Who are you? Why did you invade our living soul race? When the powerhouses of the living soul race who had rushed over saw this scene, they roared once again in horror. Those who offend my dragon palace will be killed no matter how far they are. Wuxia bellowed as his terrifying murderous aura spread to the surroundings. Dragon palace? When some of the people on the planet heard this, their faces were filled with astonishment. Run! The experts of the living soul race, who were flying over, could sense Wuxia's strength. When they heard his words, their expressions changed and they roared immediately. However, the experts that rushed over were not very strong, and Lai's figure flickered and killed them all before anyone could react. As for the celestial emperors of the living soul race who were further away, they fled immediately and returned to their own holy kingdoms. Let's go. Wuxia looked around and saw that the celestial emperors were either dead or running away. He instructed Tianjun and the rest. Tianjun, roving demon, and the rest flew to Wuxia's side and flew into the void. This, Dragon Palace? The Dragon Palace in the ruins of the Incan dynasty? Why did they suddenly attack us? Kill no matter how far they are. Did we offend the Dragon Palace? What happened to our first Supreme Elder? On the planet, countless experts from the living soul race were discussing in fear. Boom boom boom. Before long, a large number of experts from the living soul race were teleported over from the teleportation array. There were more than 100,000 experts, and they exuded a terrifying aura. The few experts in the lead were all 8th Order God Emperor realm experts. The first Supreme Elder's spirit tablet has been destroyed. How did the Dragon Palace get here so quickly? The group looked towards the living soul race's first Supreme Elder's blessed grotto heaven, and looked around with gloomy expressions. Not long after they arrived in the starry space, the Dragon Palace sent people over to kill them. Kill no matter how far they are. Was this a warning? Next place. At this moment, in the starry sky of the living soul race, Wuxia looked at Enlai and said with a smile, "It's the Dragon King and the Thousand-Armed Tribe." Enlai nodded and instantly disappeared. 2 hours later, a great battle broke out on the Thousand Hands continent of the Thousand Hands Tribe. Over 200 God Emperors from the Thousand Hands Tribe were killed, and 10 of them were 7th Order God Emperors. 4 hours later, on the main road of a rare race, a domain-class race, over 700 God Emperor experts were killed. 8 hours later, over 800 God Emperors from the Brain race, a domain-class race, on a planet were killed. As time passed, more and more races and domain-level races planets were attacked. At least 700 to 800 God Emperors were killed. On top of that, there were 7th Order God Emperor realm and 8th Order God Emperor realm experts that fell. In the beginning, the attacks of Wuxia and the rest had only caused a stir in a small area. And when 4 powerful races were attacked consecutively, the matter became more and more sensational in the universe's AI. What's going on? Is the Dragon Palace courting death? In a short period of time, they have attacked 4 to 5 powerful forces. What's going on? Had the Dragon Palace in the starry sky gone mad? Are they attacking the various races? Are they digging their own graves? They have killed an 8th Order God Emperor realm expert from the Brain race. And even the current young patriarch of the Brain race was killed. The people from the Dragon Palace said that those who offend the Dragon Palace will be killed no matter how far away they are. Could it be that these races have invaded the Dragon Palace? That's crazy. Directly assassinating the experts of various forces. Aren't they afraid that they will join forces to annihilate them? On the universe's AI, countless people saw this information, and their faces were filled with shock. Not long ago, the 3-eyed race and 4-armed race announced their disbandment. They were completely annihilated. The Dragon Palace that had wiped out the 2 races could be considered to have risen in the starry sky. Especially when the 3-eyed race and 4-armed race released information about the Dragon Palace. It caused an uproar. Countless people were discussing on the AI, Various forces were also stirring in the dark. However, in just half a month, the experts of the Dragon Palace were killing experts of various races? What was going on? Had the Dragon Palace gone mad? However, the fact that the Dragon Palace could assassinate so many experts at such a terrifying speed was shocking to many people. In just a short 10 hours, the Dragon Palace killed 5 forces. Even if they were rushing, they wouldn't be able to make it in time. This Dragon Palace is not as simple as it seems. They were able to kill an 8th Order God Emperor Realm expert without giving him a chance to escape. It seems like they have a 9th Order God Emperor Realm expert, or a powerful treasure. This is going to be interesting. Will they still assassinate experts from other forces? On the AI, the group of domain-level races disciples were discussing among themselves. However, Wang Xian's attack had embarrassed the experts from the Brainling tribe, the Rare Ancient tribe, and the other forces. The Dragon Palace probably knows that our people have entered their domain. They are taking revenge on us one by one, threatening us one by one. At this time, on a large continent, a huge sculpture of the founder of the Brain race stood in the center of the continent. It was 1,000,000 meters tall. Behind the sculpture, a group of experts from the Brain race gathered in a large hall. Their faces were extremely gloomy. An 8th Order God Emperor Realm expert was killed. Even their patriarch's son, the outstanding young patriarch of the Brain race, was killed. This was a complete provocation to the Brain race. Revenge? Threat. They are courting death. How dare they kill our young patriarch? They are trying to start a war. An enraged expert from the Brain race roared. Since they dared to assassinate so many forces and reported their names, they are not afraid of our revenge. Moreover, in the eyes of the Dragon Palace, we are their enemies. They are trying to use this kind of madness to threaten other races. An old man from the Brain race, sitting in the middle, said faintly. His eyes flickered. Water flowed around his enormous brain. It looked a little strange, and there was even a hint of holiness. Threat. Do they really think the domain-level races are that easy to scare off? Unless they can display even greater strength. The patriarch of the Brain race sitting beside the old man said with a cold expression, I'll go take a look and investigate the situation of the Dragon Palace. The Brain race powerhouse who had spoken just now slowly stood up and said, Old patriarch, be careful, there is something strange about that Dragon Palace. The rest of the Brain race experts immediately warned. Chapter 30:17. Carving a Bloody Path. Intimidating enemies 5. Just as the experts from the Brain race were discussing amongst themselves, experts from other races were also discussing with gloomy expressions. To the Demonic Wind race, Life Soul race, and Thousand Hands race, Wang Xian's deterrence was completely effective. As a race, the strongest expert among them was only an 8th Order God Emperor Realm expert. Moreover, the Dragon Palace had the strength to kill an 8th Order God Emperor Realm expert. To them, the Dragon Palace was no longer something they could deal with. If they angered the Dragon Palace and caused a massacre in their territory, it would be a devastating blow to them. Moreover, they were afraid that the experts from the Dragon Palace would come to assassinate them. Even though Wang Xian's actions had deterred the other races, some domain-level races did not give up. Especially those domain-level races with peak God Emperor Realm experts. The allure of a lesser divine dragon was worth the risk. Moreover, even though the Dragon Palace had assassinated a large number of God Emperor Realm experts, the strongest among them was only an 8th Order God Emperor Realm expert. This meant that the 8th Order God Emperor Realm was the Dragon Palace's limit. Even if the Dragon Palace had a 9th Order God Emperor Realm expert, they had nothing to fear. The Dragon Palace's assassination was a form of provocation to them. Other than a few domain-level races who had some reservations, the other domain-level races would continue to act. They had even sent out 9th Order God Emperor Realm experts, and even peak God Emperor Realm experts. On this day, the domain-level races experts hovered in the sky, looking towards the starry sky with gleaming eyes. Dragon King, I'm afraid we won't be able to deter them this way. At this moment within the Dragon Palace, Tianjun frowned as he looked at the information on the AI. If we can deter them, we should do so. At the very least, Some of the other races will not dare to get involved in this mess. The other domain-level races should also be able to deter them from killing the innocent. If they dare to kill the innocent, they will have to consider our revenge. Moreover, our main dragon palace has already been moved here. They won't be able to do anything to us, Wang Xian said. Tianjin nodded his head slightly. Dragon King, the Yaqi Devilsha, and the others have sent a message. The old patriarch of the intelligent brain domain-level tribe is coming over personally. Moreover, several other domain-level tribes have also sent 9th Order God Emperor realm experts. There might even be a peak Emperor God expert from the Skyfire race. At this time, Prime Minister Turtle reported to Wang Xian after receiving the message from Yamada Demon Sha and the rest. And lie. Bring some venom-horn dragons with you to scout out the territory of these domain-level tribes. The moment they do anything overboard, we'll hunt down their clansmen, their 2nd and 3rd Order God Emperor realm experts, and their elite disciples. I'd like to see if they dare to fight with our Dragon Palace. Other than that, Heavenly Formation Roving Demon, increase your strength first. That way, it'll be easier to hunt them. The corner of Wang Xian's mouth arched slightly as he spoke with a chilling tone. This time, he had killed 3 8th Order God Emperor realm experts and 16 7th Order God Emperor realm experts. These resources were sufficient for Roving Demon, Yamada no Orochi, and the others to possess the battle strength of an 8th Order God Emperor realm expert. At that time, with an existence like Enlai who could ignore formations and teleport, it would definitely be a disaster for the disciples of the domain-level races. Yes, Dragon King. Enlai nodded and immediately led a few dozen venom-horn dragon elites away. Next, if any forces dared to act presumptuously in the Dragon Palace's territory, the Dragon Palace would slaughter their disciples and experts. Days passed, and news came from the venom-horn dragons. Some experts had arrived at the resplendent starry sky. The Dragon Palace did not make any moves. Instead, it was waiting. Perhaps due to the deterrence this time, no one dared to kill the innocent in the Dragon Palace's territory. One by one, the experts flew in the direction of the Imperial Star Domain. They had more or less gotten the information they needed. Now, they only needed to head to the Dragon Palace's territory to take a look. Looks like there are quite a lot of people here. Half a month later, on the Dragon Island above the Imperial Star Domain, the old patriarch of the brain race scanned the surroundings with glistening eyes. He looked at the majestic palace below, and with a move of his body, he flew down directly. That should be the ocean where the Dragon Palace is located. There's a palace in there, but it's not big. The body of the old chief of the brain race moved, and he flew straight down towards the ground. Swish, swish, swish. In the surroundings, some figures also immediately flew over. There's no movement inside. It seems that the people of the Dragon Palace have escaped. An old man with a pangolin-like body and a human head said faintly as he stared at the place below. They killed hundreds of experts from our rare race. I'd like to see how powerful the Dragon Palace is. A cold voice was heard as a top expert from the rare race dived into the ocean below. The experts from the surrounding forces also moved and flew down immediately. Welcome to the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace does not wish to be enemies with anyone. Please don't make things difficult for us. Just as the group of 7 experts arrived at the front of the Dragon Palace, a civil servant of the Dragon Palace walked out from the east gate of the Dragon Palace. He bowed to them and said, "Call the leader of the Dragon Palace here." The expert from the rare race narrowed his eyes and ordered coldly when he saw the civil servant of the Dragon Palace carrying a turtle shell on his back. Everyone, our Dragon King is not here. I'm the only one here." The civil servant of the Dragon Palace smiled gently and said, Your Dragon Palace has guts to kill people from my rare race." The expert from the rare race was stunned. A terrifying pressure pressed down on the civil servant of the Dragon Palace. Our Dragon Palace does not offend anyone. No one can offend our Dragon Palace. You have to pay the price for killing people in our Dragon Palace's territory. We set the rules in our territory. The civil servant of the Dragon Palace turned pale and continued in a neither servile nor overbearing manner. Is that so? Does your dragon palace know that you have to pay the price for assassinating us from the brain race? The old patriarch of the brain race said indifferently. Revenge breeds revenge. When will there be an end to it? Our dragon palace has no intention to be enemies with any forces. The civil servant of the dragon palace replied indifferently. You're not qualified to talk to us. Ask your leader to come out. On the right side, a Ninth Order God Emperor Realm old man spoke coldly. Our Dragon King will meet with you when there's a chance. The civil servant of the Dragon Palace said again. We're all here. Is your Dragon King not going to meet us? The expert from the rare race asked coldly. Killing intent flashed in his eyes. Chapter 30:18. Carving a bloody path and deterring the hero's 6-inch hee-hee. You've come with ill intentions. Our Dragon King will not meet you. The civil servant of Dragon Palace glanced at the 7 of them. The 7 of them represented 7 forces. Behind each of them was a domain-level race. It could be said that half of the domain-level races surrounding the Inkhong clan were here. The 7 of them squinted their eyes at the words of the civil servant of Dragon Palace. I heard that there are divine dragons and subdragons in Dragon Palace. Can we take a look? An old man in full armor said coldly. Whether or not our Dragon Palace has a divine dragon or a lesser dragon, it has nothing to do with you guys. If you want to be the enemy of Dragon Palace or covet our Dragon Palace, then Dragon Palace can only fight back. The civil servant of Dragon Palace replied. Ha ha ha, you want to make an enemy of us? The expert from the rare ancient clan said disdainfully. Of course not. But if anyone dares to kill innocent people in Dragon Palace's territory, we can only take revenge in our own way. The civil official of Dragon Palace cupped his hands in obeisance to the 7 experts and entered the Dragon Palace in a flash. Take revenge in your own way. But do you know the price you have to pay for killing the experts from the Brain Spirit clan? The old clan leader of the Brain Spirit clan said faintly. He moved and dashed towards the Dragon Palace below. A wave of horrifying pressure rushed towards the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace below even trembled because of it. Ha! The old clan leader of the Brain Spirit clan frowned slightly as he felt the strength of the Dragon Palace. The other 6 experts also raised their eyebrows. The Dragon Palace has shifted its position. There's no one here, and the buildings below are weak. The old man who looked like a pangolin said with flickering eyes. Humph. The old clan leader of the Brain Spirit clan snorted coldly. He waved his arm, and a terrifying attack swept towards the Dragon Palace below. Boom! The low-level Dragon Palace couldn't withstand the terrifying attack and collapsed directly. Everyone from today onwards, our Dragon Palace does not welcome you. Please leave our domain immediately. Otherwise we will also visit your domain. Just at this moment, Enlai appeared in the nearby sea and warned with a smile. A threat? I hate threats the most. The expert from the rare ancient race had a murderous look in his eyes. With a wave of his arm, a confinement circle flew towards Enlai. The speed of the confinement circle was terrifying. At such a short distance, even an 8th Order God Emperor Realm expert might not be able to dodge it. Buzz! However, Enlai's figure disappeared in an instant. What? The ancient race expert's face changed slightly when he saw Enlai vanish in an instant. The other 6 experts also frowned slightly, and their eyes flickered. Check the surroundings. However, they did not give up. One by one, they took out their treasures and sorcerer tools to search for information about the Dragon Palace. Dragon King, there are 7 domain-level races. The experts from the rare ancient race and the Brainling race have made their move. I suggest we start with these 2 races. At the same time, in the main Dragon Palace of the Mo Hong Clan ruins, Enlai returned and said, Alright Enlai Tianjun, roving demon 8-limbed snakes, let's go. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes and said immediately, Yes Dragon King. The few who were already prepared nodded their heads. In this half a month, roving demon Tianjun, 8-limbed snakes, and the others had broken through to the 8th Order God Emperor realm. With such strength, led by Enlai, and with the help of the Venom-Horn Dragon, they could turn a powerful domain-level race upside down. Buzz! In the next moment, their figures appeared in the void. Dragon King, This is the detailed information about this planet. The locations of the Brainling race's experts. At the side, eight-limbed snakes looked at the AI and revealed a smile. Half a month ago, a group of venom-horned dragons had parasitized several Brainling race experts. It was not an exaggeration to say that the Dragon Palace controlled 70% of the Brainling race's information. This included the locations of some experts on this planet. This planet was one of the planets controlled by the Brainling race, and it was different from the mainland they had attacked previously. This planet was also one of the more important planets of the Brainling race, and there was an 8th Order God Emperor realm expert guarding it. This expert was not on the surface of the planet, but was cultivating in the planet's core. This information was obtained by the venom-horned dragon from the memories of this expert's descendant. The entrance is here. As the cultivation ground of the Brainling race's experts, there should be an array formation or other security measures. Enlai, go and check it out. Eight-limbed snake said to Enlai. Bring this shaman artifact with you. You can find out some information. Tianjun handed over a shaman artifact and said, Leave it to me. Enlai nodded his head and disappeared in an instant. Teleportation could ignore arrays in size. Enlai could even teleport to the interior of a planet. The prerequisite was that he could withstand the pressure of the planet. Otherwise he might die instantly. With his current strength, he could still withstand the pressure of the planet below him. Tianjun, here you go. This is the information I've collected. 5 seconds later, Enlai returned and handed the shaman artifact to Tianjun with a smile. Tianjun took a look at the shaman artifact and revealed a faint smile. Dragon King, we can get Enlai to bring us here directly. At such a close distance, we can kill our way to the center in an instant. Tianjun pointed to an illusory sphere on the shaman artifact and said, All right, let's do it. Wang Xian looked over and nodded his head immediately. The core of this planet was a cultivation paradise. There was a large amount of earth heart flame inside. Fire attribute experts could achieve twice the results with half the effort when cultivating here. On the surface of this planet, there were a few warning arrays, but Enlai could take them directly through them. With a wave of his arm, they appeared in the interior of the planet instantly. Here, Enlai opened up a space of 10 cubic meters. Dragon Eye. Wang Xian looked down and saw an expert from the Brainling race with a huge head cultivating inside. Do it. He squinted his eyes and signaled to Tianjun, roving demon and 8-limbed snakes. Wang. In the next instant, the soil beneath them split apart and led straight to where the expert from the Brainling race was cultivating. What? The expert from the Brainling race, who was cultivating, sensed the commotion above him. His expression changed slightly as he lifted his head immediately. Dragon Eye Lock. Instant kill. Horrifying roar. Octagonal sword. At this moment, Wang Xian and the rest launched their strongest attack. Death was upon them. Chapter 30:19. Carving a path of blood and deterrence. 7 Rumble rumble rumble. The terrifying attack smashed downwards, causing rumbling sounds to ring out from the interior of the star. The 8th Order God Emperor realm expert from the Brain tribe was crushed before he could even put up a fight. There wasn't a single scream. There was no resistance. He was directly suppressed by the powerful force. Wang Xian revealed a faint smile when he saw this scene. Great! He waved his arm and kept the corpse. Dragon King, look over there. At this time, Tianjun and the rest exclaimed in surprise. Huh? Wang Xian looked over, and his eyes lit up. This space was a blessed land. The entire planet's core was hollow within a radius of 100 kilometers. There was a purple earth core flame rising from it. Within the earth core flame, there was a purple flame flower growing. Densely packed flame flowers occupied most of the space. Purple swallow flower. 8th Order God Emperor realm purple swallow flower. There are many more that have matured. Looking at these divine flowers, Wang Xian was shocked. As expected of a domain-level race, there are so many resources on a single planet. Orochi clicked his tongue and exclaimed, The Brain tribe has a foundation of billions of years. It's no surprise that they have some precious divine flowers. What a pleasant surprise. Tianjin swept his gaze across and revealed a smile. Keep them and let's go. Wang Xian was also beaming as he spoke to them. Dragon Palace, are these resources enough for you to improve? Orochi and the rest kept all the divine flowers and asked Wang Xian. Probably not. Wang Xian shook his head. Hee, we have hunted many experts and obtained many treasures from their spatial rings. If we hunt some more experts, it should be enough for you to improve, Dragon King. Orochi estimated. That's possible. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. I'll get my men to check on the situation of the Brain Tribe and Rare Ancient Tribe's herb gardens and resources. Orochi's eyes flickered, and he immediately sent out a few messages. Let's go. Let's get rid of the Brain Tribe experts on this planet first. Wang Xian said as he looked at Enlai. Yes, Dragon King. Enlai nodded and immediately disappeared. This planet was one of the more important planets of the Brainiac race. There were more than 1,400 God Emperors on it. After the 8th Order God Emperor Realm Expert was assassinated, the next step was much simpler. With the combat power of 4 8th Order God Emperor Realm Experts, and the help of the Venomhorn Dragon, killing them was a walk in the park. In 20 minutes, all the Brain Race God Emperors on the planet had been killed. Done, hee, let's go to the Rare Ancient Tribe. After 20 minutes, Orochi said excitedly. Go. Enlai and the others nodded and teleported away. Soon they arrived at an empty place. There were no continents or planets, only a mountain peak standing in the void. An incomparably huge mountain peak. This was the domain of the Rare Ancient Race. Good news, Dragon King. Just now, I asked Devil Fiend and the others to look for some resources related to the Rare Ancient Tribe. They really found a place. When they came to the void in front of the mountain peak, Orochi looked at the information on the Universe AI and said, Oh! Wang Xian raised an eyebrow, and his eyes flickered. However, there are 4 8th Order God Emperor Realm Experts guarding there. We need to come up with a plan. Orochi said, 4 8th Order God Emperor Realm Experts? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow slightly. It shouldn't be a big problem. Orochi, mark all the information about the Rare Ancient Tribe on this mountain peak. Devil Fiend is currently residing with a 7th Order God Emperor Realm Expert. He should know about the transmission array on this mountain peak. Under normal circumstances, there will be a public transmission array and a secret transmission array. We will first destroy these 2 transmission arrays, then we can launch our attack. Tianjin said. Alright, Devil Fiend should know about this. Also, Tianjin, you better set up a concealment array to conceal this mountain peak. Wang Xian said. Alright, Dragon King, we can first assassinate the Rare Ancient Tribe experts outside, then deal with the 4 8th Order God Emperor Realm experts. With our strength, we should be able to kill them. Tianjin nodded. Alright, then the few of them immediately started to come up with a plan. Very quickly, a detailed plan was completed. With the 7th Order God Emperor Realm Expert that Devil Fiend was residing in as a spy, the operation was very simple. After silently killing the God Emperor Realm Experts, they cut off the transmission array and flew towards the peak of the mountain peak. At the peak of the mountain peak was a medicinal refinement ground of the Rare Ancient Tribe. Using the peak spring, coupled with a special and powerful flame, to refine the pill. The Rare Ancient Tribe specialized in medicinal refinement, and this was one of their medicinal refinement grounds. As a medicinal refinement ground, there were naturally large amounts of medicinal pills and divine herbs. Tianjin set up the formation. As they neared the peak, Wang Xian immediately ordered Tianjin. Tianjin nodded and immediately started setting up the formation. Boom! Tianjin's formation caused the heavens and earth to tremble. A God Emperor flew out and scanned the surroundings. So, PFFF. However, the instant the 8th Order God Emperor Realm Expert flew out, the Yamada no Orochi turned into a black stream and entered his body. That 8th Order God Emperor's expression changed drastically, and he immediately tried to defend himself. However, sharp claws pierced into his body from behind, causing his body to stiffen. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. So, the Yamada no Orochi immediately latched onto the body of the Rare Race Expert and fought for control of his body. Soon, a black light flashed in his eyes. Old Bai, what's going on? At this time, an old man flew over from the peak and shouted at him. There's a commotion below. I'll go check it out. Orochi immediately covered the spot where roving demon had pierced through, smeared a large amount of vitality liquid on it, and flew downwards. The old man on the mountain peak furrowed his brows and swept his gaze around. Boom! Not good, someone's attacking. At this time, Orochi's parasitized body flew back towards the peak, and he immediately screamed. Old Bai! The old man on the peak turned pale, and his eyes narrowed when he saw the large amount of blood on Old Bai's body. He stretched out his arm and took Orochi's body. PFFF. At this time, Orochi tore apart the parasitized body, and an incomparably sharp black claw pierced through the old man from the rare ancient tribe. Cough cough. How is this possible? The ancient race cultivator's eyes widened in shock. Buzz. At this time, Tianjun's formation enveloped the peak of the mountain. Boom boom boom. Wang Xian and the rest flew over with 2 8th Order God Emperor Realm experts. Chapter 30-20, Slaughter a Path of Blood. All the heroes 8-inch. Damn it, what's going on? Old white medicinal wine. The terrifying fluctuations of the formation, and the terrified screams, immediately attracted the attention of everyone on the peak of the rare ancient race's giant peak. There were over 5,000 people on the mountain peak, and all of them were alchemists from the rare ancient race. There were quite a few God Emperor Realm alchemists. When they felt the changes outside, their expressions changed. 2 of the 8th Order God Emperor Realm experts' expressions changed. They quickly condensed a powerful defensive barrier around their bodies and flew out. 8 desolate dragon eyes. Just as they rushed out, an incomparably terrifying attack came towards them. Not good, everyone get ready, we're under attack. When the 2 brain spirit race experts sensed this power, their expressions changed drastically, and they immediately roared out. What? We're at the peak, and there are powerful restrictions around us. There are also a large number of subordinates guarding the bottom of the mountain. Why are we suddenly attacked? Everyone in the refinement room was shocked when they saw this. Rumble. At this moment, the terrifying chains that filled the sky covered the entire peak. Attack. The expressions of the 2 8th Order God Emperor Realm experts changed. Their heads turned azure blue in an instant, and their hair whipped towards the chains in the air. Bang bang bang. Terrifying sounds of collisions rang out. The brain race had huge heads, and they were natural water attribute cultivators. Their hair was their weapon of attack. Jia 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 die. At this time, the 8 limitless gods and the sky formation appeared on their left and right. The 8 limitless gods moved, and his entire body turned into a black liquid as he charged towards them. The sky formation waved his arm, and powerful formations appeared in the air. Damn it! There's an 8th Order God Emperor Realm Shaman. Looking at the strange body of the sky formation, and sensing the changes in the world, their expressions changed. The shaman lineage was an extremely powerful existence in the center of the universe. Many people were unwilling to provoke a shaman. That was because they were powerful and strange. Witchcraft arrays could seal an area of space. Once sealed, there was no way to escape. Who are you? Why are you attacking my brain race? One of the 8th Order God Emperor Realm experts questioned with a gloomy expression. This is the price you have to pay for invading our dragon palace. Wang Xian flapped his unparalleled sacred wings and attacked them at a terrifying speed. Dragon Palace. Hearing these 2 words, the hearts of everyone from the Brain Spirit tribe sank. Not long ago, the Dragon Palace had assassinated a large number of their Brain Spirit clan's experts. They didn't expect that they would do it again. Everyone, destroy all the pills and divine herbs. Even if we die, we can't let them get them. One of the Brain Spirit race's experts revealed a ruthless expression as he roared. Yes, destroy everything. The alchemists of the Brain Spirit clan revealed a look of horror, and they roared in panic. Poo-pee-pee-you. But at this time Dark Ardent's figure appeared. His sharp dagger was smeared with potent poison, as it cut through the heads of the Brain Spirit race experts. Not good, someone has entered. Horrified cries rang out in the surroundings, and the entire peak instantly fell into chaos. Boom! In front of him, Wang Xian's arm turned into a dragon claw and slammed heavily towards an expert from the Brain Spirit clan. When the expert from the Brain Spirit clan saw Wang Xian's speed, his expression changed drastically. Law of superpower. 3000 water manipulation. He roared. Ripples formed in front of him, and fish scales appeared on the ripples, forming an indestructible defense. Pfft. However, just as his defense was formed, an incomparably sharp claw pierced through his head from behind. Those that the Dragon Palace wants to assassinate won't be able to escape. Roving Demon's voice rang in his mind. His eyes widened in horror. His vitality was rapidly being eroded by the power of light and darkness. Big brother! A horrified voice rang out from the side. Hee! Yamada no Orochi's cold laughter rang out. With a wave of his arm, his liquid-like body elongated and attacked that expert. That expert from the Brain Spirit clan immediately defended himself. Swish swish. However, the attack from the heavenly formation had arrived at the same time. This caused his eyes to turn bloodshot. Boom boom. Wang Xian increased his speed and attacked him as well. No, the Brain Spirit clan will never let you off. That 8th Order God Emperor realm expert roared in anger. In the next moment, he was drowned by the powerful attacks. Against the encirclement of Wang Xian and the other three, he couldn't even last 5 seconds. No no no. Elder! The group of alchemists at the back shouted in horror. Die! Yamada no Orochi and Roving Demon did not hesitate and attacked the rest of the alchemists. What followed next was a one-sided massacre. Haha, Dragon King, we're rich. There are so many elixir pills inside. At this time, Enlai's excited roar came from the inner space of the mountain peak. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the experts from the Brain Spirit clan, who were waiting to be slaughtered. With a swift move he flew inside. The words elixir storage room were written on the stone room inside the mountain peak. Inside, bottles of elixir pills could be seen. Every jade bottle contained a large number of elixir pills. This is? Wang Xian squinted his eyes. Sure enough, killing was spared. Hee Dragon King, this is the elixir storage room of the Brain Spirit clan. The Brain Spirit clan specializes in refining elixir pills in this part of the void. They sell their elixir pills to dozens of clans and races. Even if this isn't the core elixir storage room, there are still quite a number of elixir pills stored here. Yamada no Orochi walked in and said with glowing eyes. Let's go. Wang Xian was also a little excited. There were a lot of elixir pills inside, almost a few million of them. Even if many of them weren't of a high level, with the resources he had obtained recently, it was enough for him to break through. After breaking through, he would possess the combat strength of a 9th Order God Emperor. Given his 9th Order God Emperor combat strength, he could kill those of the same level. In that case, in this part of the void, only the few powerful domain-level races were stronger than the Dragon Palace. Sky Array, record the situation here, and send it to the universe's AI in the name of the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian kept all the elixir pills and instructed the Sky Array. Yes, Dragon King. I've recorded everything. The Sky Array nodded. Done. Let's return to the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian said. They nodded, and their figures slowly disappeared, using the two major races as an example to deter the other races. It wouldn't be long before the universe's AI was in an uproar. At that time, those domain-level races' experts would probably behave themselves. Chapter 3021. In all quarters. What the fuck? Is the information posted by Dragon Palace on the universe AI real? Look at those corpses. They're all experts from the Brain Spirit race and the Rare Ancient race. I recognize one of them. It's an elder from the Rare Ancient race. It's true. Look at the news from the Rare Ancient tribe and the Brain tribe. It's all over the place. Everyone is panicking. I didn't expect it to be the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace has been assassinating domain-level clans recently. Why? They said that those who invade the Dragon Palace will be killed no matter how far they are. What did the two domain-level races do? Crazy They actually assassinated over 1,000 God Emperor realm experts from 2 domain-level races. Moreover, there were even 8th Order God Emperor realm experts among them. Is the Dragon Palace trying to establish their might? This Dragon Palace is so scary. Are they professional assassins? He actually killed a planet's Emperor God expert without a sound. That's too terrifying. Not long after Wang Xian and the rest returned to the Dragon Palace, a piece of news shook the entire star region on the universe AI. The message was released by the Dragon Palace. It directly stated that anyone who violated the rules of the Dragon Palace in the Dragon Palace's territory would be punished by the Dragon Palace, no matter what force they were from. At the bottom there were pictures that made one's scalp tingle. They were the corpses of experts from the rare ancient race and brain race. An 8th Order God Emperor's corpse. An 8th Order God Emperor realm expert. Many clans did not have such a powerful expert, yet he was easily assassinated by the Dragon Palace. The announcement immediately caused a huge uproar. It wasn't just the assassination of an 8th Order God Emperor realm expert, but the Dragon Palace's blatant provocation towards the Brain Tribe and the rare ancient tribes. This was clearly a warning to the 2 domain-level races. Perhaps it was a warning to other powerful races. On the universe AI, countless people were discussing. The news very quickly spread to all the domain-level races near the Emohan family. Damn the Dragon Palace. They killed the 13th Elder, and the others again. This is a complete provocation to us. At this moment, the experts of the Brain Spirit clan were incomparably furious. First, the young patriarch was assassinated. They were already on guard. But the 13th Elder was still assassinated. The 13th Elder was at the core of the Violet Flame planet. That place was extremely secretive, and only the clansmen with relatively high status in the clan knew about it. How did the Dragon Palace know? That Dragon Palace should have extremely powerful sorcerer artifacts, and a group of experts who are good at assassination. The Brain Sprite Patriarch, who was sitting in the middle, had an incomparably gloomy expression on his face. Even when his son was killed, he was not so embarrassed. What did it mean for the Dragon Palace to be able to assassinate their tribe's experts again and again? This meant that the other party had powerful assassination methods. This kind of method was not something that the brain race could resist. If the other party kept on assassinating them, as he thought of this, the Brain Sprite Patriarch frowned, and his complexion fluctuated. Assassin? For them to be able to assassinate the clansmen of our God Emperor's members so strangely and quickly, could it be that they have mastered a powerful witchcraft and are making use of our clansmen's bloodline? A Brain Spirit race expert said with slight trepidation. No matter what, this Dragon Palace is very troublesome and hard to deal with. They didn't continue assassinating us, and instead announced it on the universe artificial intelligence, because they want to intimidate us. They might be afraid that we will fight to the death. But I have to say this deterrence worked. The Brain Sprite Patriarch said in a deep voice. Patriarch, are we just going to let it go like this? We didn't get the Divine Dragon or the Lesser Dragon, and now so many of our clansmen were killed by Dragon Palace. One of the elders said unwillingly, before we find the lair of Dragon Palace, and have the confidence to destroy Dragon Palace, let alone our Brain Sprite race, I'm afraid that even those big domain-level races will not dare to offend Dragon Palace. The Brain Sprite Patriarch said with a sullen face. The group of Brain Sprite race experts frowned and did not speak. Let me inform the old Patriarch. The Brain Sprite Patriarch said helplessly. At this moment, not only the Brain Sprite race, but the experts of the rare ancient races also looked gloomy and embarrassed when they saw the message from Dragon Palace. Even if Dragon Palace announced it, they did not dare to take revenge. Deterrence, a powerful deterrence. They did not dare to take revenge rashly, otherwise, it would be a disaster for the rare ancient races. Before they had a way to deal with the assassination by Dragon Palace, they could not take any extreme revenge. The other domain-level races also received the news immediately. After the various domain-level race powerhouses discussed, they also immediately sent out a message. Soon in the domain in the resplendent starry sky, the experts received the message from their races, and their faces changed slightly. What a powerful assassination technique. How did they do it? Witchcraft? Or something else? The Ninth Order God Emperor Realm and Peak God Emperor Realm experts muttered as they read the message. It seems like before we find the lair of Dragon Palace and have no way to deal with the assassin, it's best to keep a low profile. It's best not to anger Dragon Palace, or the gains will not make up for the losses. The experts from various races murmured. They had already made up their minds. Dragon King, the rare ancient race, and the Brain Sprite race didn't even dare to fart after we posted the message on the AI. It seems like they are really afraid. In the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace, the leaders of the Orochi race and the Brain Sprite race laughed as they read the message on the AI. Before they find our base, they should not dare to offend us again. Wang Xian said. This time, the deterrence from Dragon Palace was completely effective. The Venom Horn Dragon and the Spike Dragon were top-notch dragon species during the peak of the Divine Dragon race. In addition, they had a mutated existence like in Lai. With the three of them working together, the assassination was almost unstoppable. Even if they were to face a powerful primary race in the universe, they could still succeed. Our Dragon Palace should be in peace for a period of time. Let's improve our strength and recuperate. Wang Xian said to them in a good mood. Yes, Dragon King. The leaders of the Dragon Palace nodded their heads. They had gained a lot from this assassination. There were 5 8th Order God Emperor Realm corpses, and more than 27th Order God Emperor Realm corpses. In addition, Wang Xian had a large number of elixir pills and divine flowers. These resources were sufficient for him to achieve a breakthrough in his strength. After I improve, I want to make sure that the Dragon Palace has a firm foothold in this universe. Wang Xian frowned as he thought of the current situation of the Divine Dragon race in the center of the universe. Forget it, let's improve first. He took out elixir pills and swallowed them immediately. Chapter 3022. Red Mist Race's name. Wang Xian Race. Yin Yang 5 Elements Dragon. 1 with the Dragon rank. 3rd Order Void God Emperor. Divine Dragon Transformation 8th Transformation. Origin Source. 223960/5000000000 Magic. Dominate the aquatic creatures. Dominate any aquatic creatures lower than your own level. Devour living things. Devour living things to extract the source. Control of the 5 elements cultivation technique. Divine Dragon Transformation Divine Powers. Soul Capture, Spirit. Attachment Nomological Divine Abilities. Dragon Eye Lock, 5 Elements Dragon Claw. Yin Yang World Breaker Dharma Form. 5 Elements Grindstone. Dragon Country in the Palm. Dragon Head Descending. 10,000 Mile Dragon Body. Yin Yang Polarity. Yin Yang 5 Elemental Bowl. Divine Dragon Tail Whip. Law of Mastery. Metal, Wood, Water, Fire, Earth, Light, Dark Wind Divine Kingdom. Dragon Palace Own Dragon Palace. Level 9 Dragon Palace Members. 10344450 inch Who. In the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian took a look at his attributes. The 5 Elements Grindstone and the Yin Yang Dragon Board were placed in front of him. He took a deep breath. It had been a month since the last breakthrough. During this month, the resplendent starry sky had completely stabilized. No more experts wreaking havoc in the starry sky. The deterrence of the Dragon Palace was completely effective. Over the past month, Wang Xian had upgraded the 5 Elements Grindstone and Yin Yang Dragon Board with some treasures. However, his strength was rising too quickly. The Yin Yang Dragon Coil and the 5 Elements Grindstone couldn't keep up with his speed. However, in this breakthrough, Wang Xian had obtained a powerful and practical nomological supernatural power. Yin Yang World Breaker. Yin Yang World Destruction. 1 Yin and 1 Yang. The 2 dragon horns gave off a wave of Yin and Yang energy that disturbed space. This Yin Yang World Breaker could break through all illusions. He had broken the illusory array, the trap array, and the void shackles. In other words, the sky ceiling formation set up by the sky formation had no effect on him. Secondly, there was another very powerful point. The Yin-Yang Rupture World could open up an independent space around the user. Once he entered this space, he would be able to avoid some attacks and instantly escape back to his divine kingdom. Wang Xian did some calculations. Even a peak god emperor sorcerer might not be able to trap him now. Of course, if the enemy possessed a restraining type artificial spirit treasure, then he could be trapped as well. But the probability of that happening was very small. Even universe supremacies might not have postnatal treasures. While Wang Xian was enhancing his cultivation, the rest of the members of the Dragon Palace were doing the same, digesting the obtained resources. More than 10,000 members of which dragon were cultivating on the cultivation continent of the Emohansha ruins. He practiced his attacks on the postnatal spiritual treasure, the divination chessboard. After annihilating the three-eyed tribe and four-armed tribe, as well as killing thousands of Emperor God experts, the number of Emperor God experts in the Dragon Palace had reached 50,000. This number was definitely comparable to an ordinary domain-level race. Among them, the Witch Dragon species and the Venomhorn Dragon species had both reached the Emperor God realm. The Spike Dragon species had 20,000 Emperor God experts. This was also a consideration for the situation they were about to face. The combination of the Venomhorn Dragon and the Spike Dragon could play a huge role in a war between races. As for the advancement of the Dragon Witch, it was because they had obtained a large number of cultivation books about the races of the Inkhang clan. All of them were about the cultivation techniques of the sorcerers. In addition, with the postnatal spiritual treasure, the divination chessboard, the tens of thousands of dragon shamans on the divination chessboard could allow their strength to surpass another level. In other words, if they had 10,000 First-Order God Emperor Realm experts, with the support of acquired spiritual treasures, they could reach the Second-Order God Emperor Realm. Tens of thousands of Dragon Palace members had their strength increased by one level. The entire Dragon Palace was improving rapidly and settling down. Wang Xian and the rest did not dare to continue to assassinate the experts of other races. Firstly, they were worried that the other party would seek revenge and kill the humans in the resplendent starry sky. Secondly, as long as the other party did not provoke them, the Dragon Palace would not assassinate them for no reason. The Dragon Palace had always had its own principles for improving their strength. Killing the innocent might lead to the Dragon Palace being besieged and destroyed at this stage. Just as the Dragon Palace members were settling down and cultivating on a planet in the center of the Inkhang clan ruins. This planet was located beside the heaven-reaching tower. It was also one of the planets belonging to the Inkhang clan ruins. Today, this planet had become one of the planets belonging to the Red Mist race. The Red Mist race was currently a new domain-level race that was relatively popular in the entire universe. The founder of the race was the famous Emperor God Hong Tian, around the Inkhang clan ruins, a peak god emperor sorcerer. A few months ago, Emperor God Hong Tian had already announced the establishment of a domain-level race and had invited all the races to come. The day of the Red Mist race's establishment ceremony was getting closer. On this planet that belonged to the Red Mist race, a group of people flew over. One side had 3 eyes, while the other side had 4 arms. The leader was a 7th-order god emperor. There were thousands of people from both sides, all of whom were emperor gods. They were the remaining experts from the 3-eyed race and 4-armed race. The two forces exchanged glances. Their faces were filled with hatred, unwillingness, and determination. Everyone from the 3-eyed race and 4-armed race, please come in. Our big senior brother is waiting for you inside. An expert from the Red Mist race flew over, swept his gaze across them, and revealed a smile on his face. Thank you. The leader of the 3-eyed race and the experts from the 4-armed race nodded their heads and followed the expert from the Red Mist race inside. Haha, welcome everyone. Welcome to our Red Mist race. When the group of people entered a large hall, an old man greeted them with a smile on his face. Greetings, Elder Hong Men. The group looked at the old man and greeted him respectfully. Everyone, don't stand on ceremony. We'll be a family in the future. Please take a seat. Elder Hong Men smiled and gestured to them. Elder Hong Men, our 2 races are willing to join the Red Mist race. May I know the conditions? The leader of the 3-eyed race asked. When the two races were annihilated, they thought of ways to take revenge. They publicized and exaggerated information about the Dragon Palace, inciting other powerful races to attack the Dragon Palace. But a month ago, after the Dragon Palace intimidated all the races, the two races were in despair. They were in despair because the Dragon Palace did not suffer any retaliation. They were in despair because the Dragon Palace was too powerful. Under such circumstances, they made a decision to join the Red Mist race. They proposed a condition, which was that the Red Mist race would help them destroy the Dragon Palace. In their opinion, it would be difficult for the Red Mist race to agree to this condition. They had already thought of other conditions, but what they did not expect was that the Red Mist race actually agreed. They agreed to help them take revenge and deal with the Dragon Palace. This surprised them slightly. Without much hesitation, they chose to join the Red Mist race. First, it was for revenge. Second, it was to have a powerful race to rely on. God Emperor Hong Tian's strength was definitely among the top experts in this region. Chapter 3023. Invitation Letter for Clan Establishment. Everyone from the three-eyed and four-armed races. We will give you a safe planet. Everyone follow me. On top of that, we will announce and execute the condition that we agreed to when we establish our clan. The great elder of Hong Men said with a smile. He waved his arm, and a teleportation formation appeared in the middle of the hall. The emperor gods of the Tri-Eyed Tribe and Four-Armed Tribe were shocked when they saw the teleportation formation in the middle. Everyone follow me. Join the Red Mist Tribe, and we will give you a safe place to stay. The great elder of Hong Men said before he sat down in the teleportation formation. The leader of the Tri-Eyed Tribe and the rest hesitated for a while before they followed closely behind. Given the great elder's strength, there was no need for him to lie to them. Moreover, the Red Mist Tribe needed a large number of talents and resources to establish themselves. Although the Tri-Eyed Tribe and the Four-Armed Tribe had disbanded, there were still some elite disciples and core disciples. The ruins of the Mo Han clan, one of the 9,999 planets. On a planet that had yet to be cracked, the Hongmen elder of the Red Mist race led all the members of the Three-Eyed race and the Four-Armed race through the teleportation array. The experts of the Tri-Eyed Tribe and the Four-Armed Tribe were shocked when they saw the planet. This is one of the 9,999 planets in the Ink Han Tribe ruins. It is a planet that no one has cracked and entered yet. The great elder of Hong Men lifted his head slightly and said proudly, countless experts had tried to crack the formation to enter the Ink Han Tribe ruins. There were even universe supremacies who came. They had no choice but to return. On the other hand, their master had deciphered numerous spirit formations and obtained several hundred stars. Only the Red Mist Tribe could enter those planets. A planet that no one has entered yet. Could this be the planet that Emperor God Hong Tian obtained after cracking the formation? The experts of the Tri-Eyed Tribe and the Four-Armed Tribe asked in shock. One of them is that this planet can be used for the Tri-Eyed Tribe to stay in the future. As for the Four-Armed Tribe, we will also provide a planet. The great elder of Hong Men said with a smile. Great elder of Hong Men, how many planets has Emperor God Hong Tian cracked in the Ink Han Tribe ruins? The patriarch of the Three-Eyed Tribe could not help but ask. If you are loyal to the Red Mist, you will naturally find out soon enough. Alright, you can bring your clansmen over. Someone will make arrangements for you later. After the great elder of Hong Men finished speaking, he stepped into the teleportation array and left. The experts of the Three-Eyed Tribe and the Four-Armed Tribe exchanged glances as they watched him leave. Maybe joining the Red Mist race now is our best choice. An expert of the Four-Armed Tribe said. The Red Mist race has just been established and Emperor God Hong Tian is so powerful. It's indeed a good choice. If Emperor God Hong Tian is willing to help us deal with the Dragon Palace. The group of people spoke slowly, their eyes sparkling with light. Master, the Three-Eyed Tribe and the Four-Armed Tribe have arrived. There shouldn't be any problems. At the same time, the great elder of Hong Men did not return to the palace. Instead, he went to another planet. The entire planet was a gigantic palace that occupied at least a third of the planet. In the center of the palace, the great elder of Hong Men bowed respectfully to Emperor God Hong Tian. Yes, although the two tribes are very weak, they still have some foundation. It will be a great boost for us if we absorb them. Emperor God Hong Tian said faintly. Master, the Dragon Palace is famous, and they have strange assassination techniques. Are we really going to be enemies with them? The great elder of Hong Men hesitated and said. The people of the Dragon Palace entered the Divine Garden Star and killed all your junior brothers. We must take revenge. On top of that, the Dragon Palace has the ability to enter the Divine Garden Star. That means they have the ability to enter other planets. Now that the various races have been intimidated by the Dragon Palace, even though the Ninth Order God Emperor Realm and Peak God Emperor Realm experts dare not act recklessly, they have been investigating the Dragon Palace's nest. After such a long time, the base of the Dragon Palace must be in the ruins of the Ink Han tribe, just like us. They should have obtained some inheritance from the Ink Han tribe. Sooner or later, we will encounter the Dragon Palace. Emperor God Hong Tian said faintly. From the information released by the Three Eyes tribe and the Four Arms tribe, he had already confirmed that the expert from the Dragon Palace was the one who killed his disciple. The great elder of Hong Men nodded. The Dragon Palace can assassinate 8th Order God Emperors, and the strongest is a 9th Order God Emperor. Although they are not weak, you can easily kill them with your skills, he said respectfully. Half a month later, we will send an invitation to the Dragon Palace through the AI. It will be great if they come. Emperor God Hong Tian's eyes shone brightly. Yes, Master. The great elder of Hong Men nodded and left. Divine Dragon, the inheritance of the Ink Han tribe. The luck of the Dragon Palace is really good. If we can obtain it, the Red Mist tribe might be able to step into the ranks of the lower-ranked tribes in the universe. Emperor God Hong Tian murmured to himself as he closed his eyes. Dragon King, the Red Mist tribe will be established in half a month's time. They are now inviting us to their ceremony through the AI. Not long after, Prime Minister Turtle walked into the Dragon King Hall and reported the news to Wang Xian. Red Mist tribe? Domain-level tribe? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow when he heard the news. Dragon King, it's the ruins of the Ink Han tribe. The famous Emperor God Hong Tian established the tribe. Emperor God Hong Tian has the strength of a peak Emperor God, and he is also a sorcerer. Now that he has established a tribe and invited all the tribes and domain-level tribes in the void, I believe most of them will give him face and go. Prime Minister Turtle said. Founding ceremony? Wang Xian was deep in thought. If our Dragon Palace goes, we might meet experts from the Rare Ancient tribe and the Brain tribe. However, there are some benefits. Based on our investigation, the forging and alchemy abilities in the center of the universe are not as good as the Fire Hammer tribe and Dragon Queen Feng Luan. Our Dragon Palace has to develop in the center of the universe eventually. This is an opportunity. Prime Minister Turtle said. Sure. I will personally lead the team to see the various tribes and tribes. Wang Xian nodded and made up his mind. Now that the resources of the Dragon Palace had been depleted, it was impossible for them to improve quickly. They could only use other methods. Alchemy and blacksmithing were a way to quickly accumulate resources. In that case, they would meet the experts of the various tribes and tribes. Chapter 30-24. Emperor God Hong Tian Death to Disobey 1-inch Emperor God Hong Tian. The Red Mist Domain Level Race. Inside the Dragon King Hall, Wang Xian was looking at the AI, searching for information on Emperor God Hong Tian. Wang Xian knew a thing or two about Emperor God Hong Tian. Apart from that, he had killed many of Emperor God Hong Tian's disciples. But the last time he attacked, it was the other party who wanted to kill them. He didn't have a good impression of Emperor God Hong Tian. This time, if it wasn't for the fact that he wanted to see the various races, if it wasn't for the fact that he wanted the Dragon Palace to truly step into the center of the universe, he probably wouldn't have gone. The main reason why he rushed over was because of the nomological ability he had obtained. Yin-Yang World Breaking. The yin-yang destruction world could break through the seal of the space lock array. Even if there was any danger, they could escape directly. Secondly, although the Dragon Palace had offended the rare ancient race and the brain race, they might not dare to do anything to them. Moreover, Emperor God Hong Tian was establishing a race. At this time, all the forces that came would give Emperor God Hong Tian face and wouldn't cause trouble. But what Wang Xian didn't know was that the news of him killing Emperor God Hong Tian's disciple had already been known, and a wanted order had been issued. But the wanted order was limited to the disciples and grand disciples of Emperor God Hong Tian, and wasn't made public. This was to prevent Wang Xian from publicizing the method of entering the Divine Garden Star. Hence, the wanted order was not issued on the AI. Time passed day by day. The day of the Red Mist Race's establishment was approaching. Welcome, elders of the Sky Flame race. Thank you for coming. Welcome, leader of the Shape Moon race. Thank you for coming personally. Half a month later, on a planet in the center of the Mo Han clan's ruins, many powerful races were rushing over from the starry sky. There were experts from the Sky Flame race who were covered in flames like gods of fire. There were experts sitting on crescent-shaped artifacts. There were experts riding all kinds of mounts. Every group was emitting a terrifying aura. Any one of them had at least a seventh-order god emperor. In the void, the experts of the Red Mist clan in black and red clothes greeted the people from different clans with smiles on their faces. Today was the Red Mist race's establishment ceremony. Half a month ago, the Red Mist race had invited all the major forces. For a domain-level race that had just been established in this part of the universe, they naturally had to go over and get to know them, whether it was to befriend him or to investigate his background. The birth of a domain-level race would definitely attract the attention of all the major forces. The weaker races and domain-level races even sent their top experts over with congratulatory gifts. Dragon King, there are a lot of experts here. They are all the top experts in this starry sky. In front of the planet of the Red Mist race, the Sky Array 8 Directions Devilish Shah, and the rest were following Wang Xian. They looked around and transmitted their voices. The establishment of a peak god Emperor Magus is still a huge commotion here. In this void territory, it has been close to 1 billion years since the birth of a domain-level race. Wang Xian smiled as he recalled the information he had seen from the universe artificial intelligence. It wasn't that easy to jump from a horde race to a domain-level race. At the very least, he needed 2 ninth-order god emperor realm experts. The second was the foundation. There were only a dozen or so domain-level races around the Ink Han clan ruins. Among them, there were only 4 relatively strong domain-level races. These 4 domain-level races had peak god emperor realm experts guarding them. The strength of a force represented the amount of resources it could get. And the rise of a strong force in a starry sky would also have a significant impact on the surrounding forces. May I know which force you are from? In the void of the planet, a 5th-order god emperor, Magus, swept his gaze across Wang Xian and the rest. His eyes lit up, and he immediately went up to them and asked with a smile. Dragon Palace. 8 Directions Devilish Shah said plainly. It's you guys from the Dragon Palace. Please come in. The expert from the Red Mist race was surprised and immediately gestured with his hand. Dragon King, this guy must have recognized us. He's acting. Devilish Shah looked at the expert from the Red Mist race and transmitted his voice to Wang Xian. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. Lead the way. 8 Directions Devilish Shah continued. Dragon Palace? Are they from the Dragon Palace? How dare they come? Emperor God Hong Tian seems to have invited the Dragon Palace through the universe artificial intelligence. Why don't they come? Many powerful forces are wary of the Dragon Palace now. This is the first time I've seen experts from the Dragon Palace. Do they have the bloodline of the Divine Dragon? Is the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace here? This is the Dragon Palace. The words of the Red Mist race, Magus, immediately attracted the attention of the surrounding people. Some people looked over with curiosity and surprise. Today, the Dragon Palace was not unknown in this part of the void. Its terrifying assassination methods were feared by all the races. Seeing Wang Xian and the rest, the surrounding experts were curious. Dragon Palace? Are they from the Dragon Palace? At the same time, more than 20 experts flew over from behind. They had huge heads for limbs and skinny bodies. Their eyes were filled with murderous intent as they looked at Wang Xian and the rest. These 20 people were experts from the Brain Spirit race. This was the first time they had seen experts from the Dragon Palace. It was a little frustrating to say it. The other party had already assassinated 2,000 of their emperor gods. Wang Xian and the rest, who were descending to the planet below, sensed the murderous intent behind them, and turned to look. Hee. Orochi and the rest recognized the race with the huge head immediately. They placed their hands on their necks, and touched them provocatively, before turning around. Hee. Wang Xian also smiled faintly. The current Dragon Palace did not take the Brain Spirit race seriously at all. If not for the fear of a life and death struggle, and if not for the fear of arousing the resentment of other forces, they would already have the power to annihilate the Brain Spirit race. The people from the Dragon Palace are so arrogant. Some of the races in the surroundings were paying attention to the situation here. Seeing the two's provocative gestures, they whispered, "The Dragon Palace also has the confidence to be arrogant." A remote force in the starry sky is rumored to have a subdragon and a divine dragon. Many forces covet it. Now all the forces are wary of them. They are really strong. Some experts from the forces discussed. Everyone from the Dragon Palace, this way please. The Red Mist race expert, who was leading the way, smiled and guided them. Some experts from the Red Mist race looked over with sparkling eyes. Soon, the news of Wang Xian and the rest's arrival reached the experts from the Red Mist race. Good news! The people from the Dragon Palace are here. Chapter 30-25. Master, the people from Dragon Palace are here. In a palace on a star in the ruins of the Ink Han clan, an elder from the Red Mist clan came to the hall and reported to Emperor God Hong Tian, who was sitting on the throne. They're here. God Emperor Hong Tian sat there with a red halo floating above his head. A smile appeared on his face. Yes, Master. Besides the Dragon King, the 3 domain level clans, the Heaven Inferno clan, the Heaven Sea Roar clan, and the Pangolin clan have arrived. Only the Heavenly Underworld clan has yet to arrive. I heard that the one from the Heavenly Underworld clan is back. Emperor God Hong Tian said plainly. Yes, Master. The one from the Heavenly Underworld clan has suddenly returned after disappearing for tens of millions of years. I heard that he was trapped within the Ink Han clan ruins. The old man replied respectfully. Hee. I wonder how much he has improved. Emperor God Hong Tian said plainly, his eyes gleaming coldly. Dragon King, the few from Dragon Palace, this way please. On a star beside the Tongtian Tower, Wang Xian and the rest were led to a palace by the experts from the Red Mist clan. Many forces had already arrived in the palace. Among them, the stronger forces were seated near the front. Wang Xian and the rest were also arranged to be seated near the front. Dragon King, the 3 clans in front are the strongest domain-level clans in this starry sky. Wang Xian and the rest sat down, and the voice of the sky formation was heard. He swept his gaze across the Heaven Inferno clan, which was covered in flames like the god of fire. The Pangolin clan had a shell on its back, a tail, a body like a pangolin, and a head like a human. The Heaven Sea Roar clan of the human race. The 3 domain-level clans all had peak Emperor God experts in charge. They were the strongest forces in this starry sky. As Wang Xian scanned the surroundings, some forces in the palace were also paying attention to them. The experts from the various forces were curious and surprised. This was the first time the Dragon Palace stood in front of these forces. The few of you must be the higher-ups of the Dragon Palace. I have to say that the assassination techniques of the Dragon Palace are really strong. Suddenly, an expert from the Heaven Inferno clan, whose body was covered in flames, said plainly, a force must have the strength to establish itself. Otherwise, it can only be controlled by others. We the Dragon Palace are new here. Please forgive us. Wang Xian cupped his fists and smiled when he heard the words of the experts from the Sky Yin tribe. There's no need for that. I heard that there's a semi-dragon in the Dragon Palace. Can we have a look? At the front, the expert from the Mountain Piercer race said faintly. There's no need to take a look. We, the Dragon Palace, are afraid that you will do something bad. Wang Xian said plainly. Haha, the Dragon Palace is really interesting. An expert from the Qianhai Gui race laughed. Around them, the other forces heard their conversation and listened quietly from behind. With the Dragon Palace's current power, ordinary domain-level clans wouldn't dare to be too arrogant. Only a few powerful races in their universe had the right to do so. Welcome to the ceremony of the Red Mist race. At this moment, a voice suddenly rang out. Hearing this voice, everyone's heart trembled slightly. Buzz! In front of the main hall, the entire building suddenly disappeared, and an incomparably spacious road appeared. The path continued to extend forward, and an incomparably huge star appeared in his line of sight. Seeing this, everyone's pupils constricted slightly, and their eyes flickered. Everyone, please come with us. 2 Ninth Order God Emperor Realm experts from the Red Mist race flew over, and stood on both sides of the path, welcoming the crowd. Hehe. It seems like Emperor God Hong Tian has occupied quite a number of stars in the Incan Dynasty ruins. The experts from the Qianhai Gui race stood up and walked towards the path that had appeared out of nowhere. The experts from the Mountain Piercer race and the Sky Yin tribe also stood up and walked towards the path. There are a total of 9,999 stars in the Incan Dynasty ruins. It seems like Emperor God Hong Tian has deciphered some of them. Emperor God Hong Tian's strength is considered top-notch in our universe. His attainments in array formations should be unrivaled. The foundation of the Red Mist race in the future will be the stars in the Incan Dynasty ruins? The experts of some forces were shocked as they walked forward one by one. As they walked on the path formed by array formations, the experts moved at high speed. There was a huge star in front of them, and there were many majestic palaces on the star. Look to the left and right. Emperor God Hong Tian must have obtained quite a number of stars. At this moment, some of the experts looked around. In the surrounding void, there were also great paths that were connected to the stars. As far as the eye could see, he could see dozens of stars connected together. Emperor God Hong Tian actually deciphered so many stars. Look over there. If I remember correctly, that is the Divine Garden Star of the Incan Dynasty ruins. Emperor God Hong Tian has also deciphered the Herb Garden of the Incan Dynasty ruins. Hiss! Let's not talk about whether or not there are any powerful pills in the Divine Garden planet in the ruins of the Incan Dynasty. Just that planet alone is worth a lot. No wonder Emperor God Hong Tian dares to establish his race. He has such a strong foundation. All the experts from other forces looked over, and their faces were filled with shock. Even the 3 top-notch domain-level race experts had a solemn look on their faces. After all, this used to be the star of a powerful primary race in the universe. The group of people walked forward. There weren't many of them. There were more than 100 forces, and there were only a few 100,000 people in total. Are those the disciples of the Red Mist race in front? As they walked to the star in front of them, they saw experts from the Red Mist race standing on both sides. They were arranged in 2 rows on the left and right. The disciples in the 2 rows were all 7th Order God King realm and above. At a glance, there were more than 100,000 disciples of this level. They were all Emperor God Hong Tian's grand disciples. As they walked forward, they came to a huge plaza with huge flags placed on it. The red flags fluttered in the air. There were more than 50,000 experts from the Red Mist race standing in front of the plaza. Every one of them was a god emperor. Hehe. Thank you for attending our Red Mist race's establishment ceremony. Emperor God Hong Tian was sitting on the central throne at the front of the plaza. A smile appeared on his face when he saw the arrival of the forces. Everyone's eyes shone brightly as they looked ahead. Since Emperor God Hong Tian has established his race, we are naturally here to offer our congratulations. An old man from the Qianhai race said indifferently. Haha, for you all to be able to come here is giving me Hong Tian face. Emperor God Hongtian laughed and stood up. Today I, Emperor God Hongtian, announce the establishment of the Red Mist race to conquer the universe. Chapter 30:26. Conquer the starry sky and sweep across all directions. Conquer the starry sky and sweep across all directions. A domineering voice reverberated across the entire Red Mist race's planet. Emperor God Hongtian stood in front of the divine throne with the magnetic halo above his head, emitting a red glow. A terrifying aura was emitted from his body to the surroundings. At the same time, the disciples of the Red Mist race shouted excitedly as their aura soared into the sky. Hee, how domineering! In front of them, the experts from the 3 top domain-level races felt the terrifying aura. A trace of seriousness flashed in their eyes as they released their own aura to resist it. Wang Xian and the rest narrowed their eyes as the yin-yang dragon coil appeared around them to resist the aura. These guys are really arrogant. Are they trying to show off their strength to the other races? Yamada no Orochi and the rest couldn't help but grumble as they swept their gaze across the experts from the Red Mist race. From their aura, they could sense the strength of the experts from the Red Mist race. There were 3 9th Order God Emperors, close to 28th Order God Emperors, and over 100 7th Order God Emperors. There were over 53,000 God Emperors and above. The strongest among them was still Emperor God Hongtian. His mighty power caused many experts from various clans to break out in a cold sweat. I didn't expect Emperor God Hongtian to have accumulated such a strong foundation. He's too strong. They aren't any weaker than the other domain-level races. Coupled with the fact that they belong to the Sorcerer race, the Red Mist race can be ranked in the top 5 in this universe. So strong. Behind them, the experts of the various races felt the pressure and their expressions changed slightly. Since the establishment of the Red Mist race, we have been recruiting experts from all walks of life. Let me first introduce the experts who have joined us. Emperor God Hongtian was very satisfied when he saw this scene, and he continued to speak indifferently. I'm Dan Lewin from the Red Mist race. Greetings, everyone. I'm Exploding Mountain Giant from the Red Mist race. Greetings, everyone. I'm an elite core disciple from the Three Eyes race. I've joined the Red Mist race. Greetings, everyone. I'm an elite core disciple from the Four Arms race. I've joined the Red Mist race. Greetings, everyone. One expert after another walked out from the back and stood beside Emperor God Hongtian. Master Dan Lewin actually joined the Red Mist clan. Emperor God Hongtian actually invited Master Dan Lewin to join them. Grandmaster Dan Lewin is a 9th Order God Emperor Realm Master, and he is proficient in alchemy. He has more than 10,000 disciples and grand disciples, and all of them are powerful alchemists. Emperor God Hongtian must have used that divine garden star to attract Master Dan Lewin and the others over. The Exploding Mountain Giants have also joined the Red Mist race. Although there are only tens of thousands of them, each of them has the combat power of a God Emperor when they reach adulthood. Their leader has the combat power of a 9th Order God Emperor. The Three-Eyed Tribe and the Four-Armed Tribe, weren't they defeated by the Dragon Palace and disbanded by themselves? They also joined the Red Mist race. Although most of the elites of the 2 races were killed, they still have a lot of resources. Shocked voices came from all around, looking at the strong people who had joined the Red Mist race one by one. Even the mountain pangolin in the front had a serious look on their faces. Emperor God Hongtian's strength was evident from the fact that he had directly established a peak force in this starry sky. The Three-Eyed Tribe and the Four-Armed Tribe, Wang Xian, and the rest raised their eyebrows when they saw these 2 tribes. These 2 tribes had a deep grudge against the Dragon Palace. I, Emperor God Hongtian, am honored to be able to invite Grandmaster Dan Lewin and the Exploding Mountain Giants to join the Red Mist race. In the future, our Red Mist race will be selling all kinds of elixirs. I hope everyone can do us the honor. Other than elixirs, our Red Mist race is also in the battle pet business. Emperor God Hongtian stood in front with a smile on his face. As he spoke, he waved his arm. Lazy people were listening. Roars could be heard coming from the back. Savage auras rushed in their direction. Waves of might caused everyone to narrow their eyes. In the center was an 8th Order God Emperor Realm wild beast. It had 2 huge heads, and was tens of thousands of meters long. A violent aura could be felt from its body. 8th Order God Emperor Realm wild beast double roar. Around this wild beast, there were more than a dozen 7th Order God Emperor Realm wild beasts. This is battle pets tamed by Emperor God Hong Tian and the rest? 8th Order God Emperor Realm battle pets. How is this possible? Hiss, 8th Order God Emperor Realm battle pets. This is too terrifying. Astonishment filled everyone's faces when they saw the 10,000 battle pets. There were more than 10,000 God Emperor Realm battle pets, including 1/8th Order God Emperor Realm battle pet. One had to know that the top tribes only had 8th Order God Emperor Realm experts. Now they were selling 8th Order God Emperor Realm battle pets. How terrifying. When everyone saw this, their faces were filled with shock. Even the experts from the 3 domain level tribes were shocked. The battle pet business was a big business in the entire universe. There were even powerful tribes that would enslave some demonic beasts and sell them. The fact that the Red Mist race had more than 10,000 God Emperor Realm battle pets shocked them. These are more than 10,000 God Emperor Realm battle pets of our Red Mist race. They will be sold after today. In addition, the Red Mist race will open a star that I have cracked, and build a commercial planet there. Emperor God Hong Tian continued to speak, building momentum for the Red Mist race. Furthermore, the things that he had taken out and the foundation that he had displayed had also shocked all the other forces. Congratulations, Emperor God Hong Tian. We will definitely support you in the future. Congratulations on the establishment of the Red Mist race. With Emperor God Hong Tian leading the Red Mist race, we will definitely sweep across the universe. The leaders of the various races immediately bowed respectfully. Some of the experts from the various races even began to flatter him. After all, the battle pets the Red Mist race was selling could rival, or even surpass their strongest experts. They naturally had to be respectful. Haha, thank you. The Red Mist race is also willing to be friends with everyone and live in harmony. Emperor God Hong Tian laughed and said. The experts from the other forces heaved a sigh of relief when they heard this. However, there are some things we need to settle before the establishment of the Red Mist race. Suddenly, Emperor God Hong Tian changed the topic, and his tone was filled with coldness. His words caused some of the weaker races and domain-level tribes to feel a chill in their hearts. They looked nervous. What's going on? Did someone offend Emperor God Hong Tian? When they heard Emperor God Hong Tian's words, and thought of the expressions of the Red Mist race disciples, they suddenly had a bad feeling. They narrowed their eyes slightly. The error-free chapters of the Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System will continue to be updated on the mobile game bar. There will be no advertisements on the website. Please collect and recommend the mobile game bar. Please collect if you like the Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System. Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System. Chapter 3027. I, Emperor God Hong Tian, shall die if I disobey. For everyone, I have an image here. Emperor God Hong Tian's eyes shone brightly when he saw everyone. He waved his arm, and an image appeared in front of him. In the image, there were several corpses on the ground. The corpses were dressed similarly to the members of the Red Mist tribe, and there were several figures beside them. When everyone saw those figures, they were slightly stunned, and their faces were filled with astonishment. It's them. They are from Dragon Palace. It's them from Dragon Palace. This is. When everyone saw the scene on the screen, they were shocked. Some of the experts looked towards Wang Xian and the rest. Dragon King, Emperor God Hong Tian has replayed the image of me being wiped out. Seeing the scene on the screen, Tianjin narrowed his eyes and said to Wang Xian, "It's all right. Let's just let them know." Wang Xian squinted his eyes as they flickered. It's that Dragon Palace. I didn't expect them to kill Emperor God Hong Tian's disciple. This is interesting. When the Brain Race and Rare Race saw this, their eyes flashed with a hint of schadenfreude. They looked at Wang Xian's group with undisguised murderous intent. Everyone from Dragon Palace, do you want an explanation? Emperor God Hong Tian stared at Wang Xian and asked emotionlessly. It's simple. We were ambushed when we entered the Divine Garden Star. They locked us with a spatial sealing array. They were courting death. Of course, we had to kill them. Why? Emperor God Hong Tian, are they from your Red Mist tribe? Wang Xian replied with a smile despite knowing the answer. Hee, everyone from Dragon Palace, what do you think? Emperor God Hong Tian's eyes turned cold when he heard Wang Xian. What do we think? Of course, we will kill them. Wang Xian said plainly. Ah, good. What a good kill it. When Emperor God Hong Tian heard Wang Xian's words, a violent aura burst out from his body and pressed down on Wang Xian and the rest. How dare you be so arrogant when you're just a Ninth Order God Emperor? Beside Emperor God Hong Tian, Grandmaster Donluan, the exploding mountain giant, and the rest immediately locked their gazes on Wang Xian and the rest, killing intent flashing in their eyes. Wang Xian moved his body, and the unbeginning saint wings appeared on his back. A pair of dragon horns also appeared on his head, blocking Emperor God Hong Tian's position. Dragon King. At this moment, Tianjin said in a low voice as he stared at the ground beneath his feet. Streaks of red light appeared below them, as if trying to seal them off. Dragon Palace, I'll give you two choices. One is to surrender to the Red Mist clan, respect us, and offer all your flood dragons. Second, if you make an enemy of the Red Mist race, I will destroy you. Emperor God Hong Tian stared at Wang Xian, and the rest as he spoke in a domineering tone. This is interesting. When the Heavenly Flame Race elite saw the sudden change, he revealed a faint smile. They had long been unhappy with the Dragon Palace. The power of the Dragon Palace had indeed intimidated the Heavenly Flame Race. They were very happy to see this scene unfold before them. The Red Mist clan has just been established, and they have very few disciples. Moreover, they live on these sealed planets, and are not afraid of the assassinations of the Dragon Palace. Moreover, they are experts in array formations. Assassinations by the Dragon Palace might be walking into a trap. Hence, Emperor God Hong Tian has no qualms. An expert from the mountain-piercing race analyzed with a faint smile on his face. The Red Mist clan had just been established and already possessed such strength. It would be a good thing if they were to clash with the Dragon Palace. They could weaken the strength of the Red Mist clan. Emperor God Hong Tian, are you so confident that you can destroy us? Wang Xian stared at Emperor God Hong Tian, his eyes turning cold. It's still a piece of cake for me to kill the few of you who are at the Ninth Order God Emperor realm. Emperor God Hong Tian said confidently. Looks like our Dragon Palace has one more enemy. Wang Xian squinted his eyes. Not only will you die for defying me, but your Dragon Palace will also be destroyed. Emperor God Hong Tian stared at Wang Xian and the rest, his eyes flickering. As expected of a sorcerer, to be so confident in destroying the Dragon Palace. A sorcerer at Emperor God Hong Tian's level has unimaginable means. He might be able to find the nest of the Dragon Palace through some of them. The strongest expert in the Dragon Palace is probably at the Ninth Order God Emperor realm. If Emperor God Hong Tian really destroys them, the Red Mist clan will be unstoppable. The experts from the mountain-piercing race, Sky Inferno race, and Vast Ocean Old Man saw the confident Emperor God Hong Tian, and the smiles on their faces disappeared. Sorcerers were powerful and mysterious, especially Emperor God Hong Tian. He might be able to locate the nest of the Dragon Palace with some kind of sorcery. Ha, sorry old man Hong Tian, I'm late. Suddenly a hearty laughter was heard. The abrupt voice caused everyone to be slightly taken aback. Boom boom boom. Soon after, an unscrupulous figure flew towards them. Emperor God Hong Tian frowned slightly when he heard the voice and looked in front. Old Ming. I didn't expect you to still be alive, he said coldly. Old Ming? It's him, the one from the Heavenly Nether tribe. He has been missing for 70 to 80 million years, and has only returned recently. He is the only sorcerer in our galaxy who can go against Emperor God Hong Tian. Even Emperor God Hong Tian suffered a loss in his hands. The strength of the Heavenly Nether tribe has improved tremendously after his return. The crowd of people from different races immediately turned their heads to look, and whispered in surprise. The newcomer was also a legendary figure. "How can I die when you are still alive?" the old man said as he looked around. "I'm not here to congratulate you on establishing your tribe." As he spoke, he looked around. When he saw Wang Xian and the rest, his eyes lit up. "Haha, benefactor. I saw old man Hong Tian inviting you on the AI not long ago, so I came to try my luck. I didn't expect you to be here." He laughed loudly and flew towards Wang Xian and the rest. The newcomer was Ming Xuanji, the fat old man trapped in the array formation that Wang Xian and the rest had rescued in the refining sorcerer continent. Oh, Wang Xian and the rest raised their eyebrows when they saw Ming Xuanji flying over. What a good timing. They squinted their eyes. Hee, old Ming Xuanji, you're here at the right time. Someone is about to annihilate us. Orochi's eyes lit up when he saw Ming Xuanji as he laughed heartily. Huh? Someone wants to annihilate you? Ming Xuanji's eyes turned cold as he saw the red glow below Wang Xian and the rest. A murderous aura rushed out from his body. Chapter 30:28 Fuck. Violent old Ming. What's going on? What's the relationship between Ming Xuanji and Dragon Palace? SSS, what's going on? Benefactor? Dragon Palace is Senior Ming Xuanji's benefactor? Looks like there's going to be a good show. When everyone saw the old man from the heavenly underworld race, the legendary figure of the starry sky, Ming Xuanji, flying directly towards the group of people from the Dragon Palace, and calling them their benefactor, everyone was stunned. What's the relationship between Ming Xuanji, from Heavenly Underworld Tribe and Dragon Palace? Benefactor? Prison on the ground. Humph. Ming Xuanji paid no attention to the exclamations and discussions around him. He looked at the red light beneath Wang Xian, and the rest with a sinister look in his eyes. He stepped on the ground with his right foot, and the red light disappeared bit by bit. At the front, Emperor God Hong Tian's expression changed when he saw this scene. He stared at Ming Xuanji intently. Old Ming, are you trying to interfere in our affairs? Emperor God Hong Tian asked coldly as he looked at Ming Xuanji coldly. It's all thanks to Dragon Palace that I'm able to come out alive. You want to kill my benefactor? Are you courting death? Ming Xuanji stared at him coldly and bellowed. Huh? What? Ming Xuanji came back. Because he was saved by Dragon Palace? When the experts of the various forces heard this, they were slightly shocked as their eyes flickered. Old Ming, Dragon Palace killed my disciple. This is a feud between Red Mist Tribe and Dragon Palace. You'd better not get involved. Upon hearing his words, Emperor God Hong Tian's face darkened and he asked coldly. The matter of my benefactor is my matter. Even if I want to fuck you up, so what? Emperor God Hong Tian said coldly, not giving any face to Emperor God Hong Tian. Emperor God Hong Tian's eyes narrowed as he looked extremely embarrassed. Ming Xuanji's every move didn't represent himself, but the entire Heavenly Underworld Tribe. In particular, the current clan leader of Heavenly Underworld Tribe was his son, who was also a peak Emperor God. Ming Xuanji's decision could represent Heavenly Underworld Tribe. The current strength of the Heavenly Underworld Tribe was definitely one of the best in this part of the universe. They were much more powerful than the Red Mist that he had just established. When the surrounding forces saw how domineering Ming Xuanji was, they were slightly speechless. He was not giving Emperor God Hong Tian any face at all. However, Ming Xuanji was also one of the few people in this starry sky who didn't give Emperor God Hong Tian face. Old Ming, I can choose not to fight today. However, you must know that I am giving face to your Heavenly Underworld Tribe, not you. Emperor God Hong Tian's expression changed as he said coldly. As he spoke, he looked at Wang Xian, and the rest with killing intent flashing in his eyes. You guys are lucky this time. You won't be so lucky next time. Hee. When Wang Xian and the rest heard Emperor God Hong Tian's words, their eyes turned cold. He had come to attend the founding ceremony of the Red Mist race that day, but he hadn't expected such a situation. Moreover, the Red Mist clan, and Emperor God Hongtian obviously knew that it was the Dragon Palace who had killed his clansman's disciple. However, they still invited the Dragon Palace, because they wanted to destroy them, and use sorcery, to find the location of the Dragon Palace. This was obviously a feast at Hongmen. Ming Xuanji, help us do one thing. After you're done, we won't owe each other anything. Of course you can reject it. Wang Xian's eyes flashed with killing intent, as he looked at Ming Xuanji, and said directly, Dragon King, let's not talk about one thing. My life was saved by you guys. As long as you say the word, I, Old Ming, will definitely not decline. Ming Xuanji patted his chest and said loudly, help us attack the Red Mist clan immediately. After this, we won't owe each other anything. Wang Xian continued as he stared at him. Ming Xuanji's eyes narrowed when he heard Wang Xian's words. Ha ha ha. I like my benefactor's straightforward approach. Kill them if you have the strength. Alright. Benefactor saved my life before. I'll kill whoever you say. Isn't it just Emperor God Hongtian? Haha, kill. Ming Xuanji burst into laughter. His face was filled with murderous intent as he roared. A book and a staff appeared in his hands. Great. Old Ming, help us deal with Emperor God Hongtian. We'll handle the rest. Even if we're no match for them, we'll make the Red Mist clan's founding ceremony a climax. Orochi laughed wildly, and roared with an excited and ferocious face. Wang Xian also smiled as a terrifying aura rose from his body. What? Let's retreat. SSS this Dragon Palace is crazy. Are they going to kill the Red Mist clan directly? When the experts of the various forces sensed the murderous aura coming from them, their expressions changed slightly as they immediately retreated. Emperor God Hongtian was stunned. He clenched his fists and looked extremely embarrassed. The rest of the experts from the Red Mist clan were also stunned. They stared at them with killing intent and vigilance. Ming Xuanji, are you going to make the Red Mist clan your enemy? Is the Heavenly Underworld clan going to make us your enemy? Emperor God Hongtian roared. I'm only representing myself, not the Heavenly Underworld clan. Don't worry, Ming Xuanji said faintly. Who asked you to provoke my benefactor? Let the founding ceremony be lively today. Ha ha ha. As he spoke, he waved his arm and pointed the staff at the book in front of him. Black flames flew out from the book and attacked Emperor God Hongtian. Get up. Let's fight. Emo Sha roared. Without any hesitation, his body moved, and he instantly flew towards the back. Behind him were tens of thousands of experts from the Red Mist clan, who were below the Emperor God level. The devil fiends could easily kill a large number of such existences in an instant. Boom! Wang Xian did not hesitate. He flapped his unbeginning saint wings, and attacked the Emperor God from the Red Mist clan, at a terrifying speed. Sky Array Orochi did not hesitate and attacked immediately. The battle broke out instantly. You're courting death. Seeing Ming Xuanji and Wang Xian attacking, Emperor God Hongtian's eyes were filled with frenzied killing intent as he roared furiously. Kill them for me. He angrily ordered all his subordinates. Today was the founding ceremony of the Red Mist clan. However, they were attacked at this moment. This was a complete provocation and humiliation to the Red Mist clan. From today onwards, the Red Mist clan would become a joke among the other forces. Kill those guys from the Dragon Palace. Let them know the consequences. And let Ming Xuanji know the consequences of offending him. A violent killing intent burst out of Emperor God Hongtian's body. Above his head, the acquired spiritual treasure, magnetic halo, shone with red brilliance. Chapter 3029 Fight. Up. They've started fighting. This is Emperor Hongtian's Red Mist Tribe's founding day. I can't believe a fight broke out here. Maybe even Emperor Hongtian didn't expect this to happen. The Dragon Palace is Ming Xuanji's benefactor, and even more so, Ming Xuanji attacked the Dragon Palace. Quick, this is a battle between Peak God Emperor sorcerers. Let's hide. When the battle broke out, the people of the various races immediately retreated to the rear. A battle between Peak God Emperor sorcerers was enough to destroy heaven and earth. As the group of races retreated, A series of screams rang out from behind. Mo Sha, who had turned into a venomous horned dragon, had started slaughtering the Red Mist tribe's disciples. The 2 rows in the back were all disciples of the Red Mist clan below the God Emperor realm. The Red Mist tribe had arranged all their disciples in 2 rows to show off their strength. In the end, they were attacked by Mo Sha. An 8th Order God Emperor realm expert had killed a disciple below the God Emperor realm, and that was under a sneak attack. Before the disciples could react, tens of thousands of Red Mist tribe's disciples were killed. Not a single one was left alive. All of them were Emperor Hong Tian's grand disciples, the future elites and core of the Red Mist tribe. The Red Mist tribe had just been established and didn't have many people. All the elite disciples were the disciples of his disciples. Now 80% of them had been killed. Bastard, you're courting death. In front of them, the Red Mist race's emperor gods saw the demon fiends slaughtering their disciples. Their eyes turned bloodshot, and they immediately attacked the demon fiend. Kill. Yamada Serpent let out a strange cry. He moved and locked onto the god emperors in front of him, charging over. His target was the experts below the 8th Order God Emperor realm. Stop him. Everyone attack. Trap them. The 3 9th Order God Emperor realm magi from the Red Mist race and the 9th Order God realm explosive mountain giants' expressions changed drastically. The power of the array formation condensed in the void, and a terrifying power was formed. Die. Wang Xian saw them setting up the array formation. His eyes flashed coldly as he pushed his speed to the limit. PFFF PFFF PFFF. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of Red Mist race's emperor gods on the left were instantly killed. Old Ming, go to hell. Do you really think that I, Hong Tian, am still the Hong Tian from tens of millions of years ago? Up in the sky, Emperor God Hong Tian's heart sank when he heard the screams and saw the disciples of the Red Mist race being killed. Magnetic aperture, disaster of blood. With a wave of his arm, streams of energy were injected into the magnetic halo above his head. Streaks of red light shot out towards Ming Xuanji. Ha ha ha, I was able to suppress you back then, and I can do the same now. Ming Xuanji laughed. He moved and flew directly toward the experts of the Red Mist clan. He was shrouded by a black shadow. As he flew, he quickly waved his arms and set up array formations. Have a taste of our heavenly underworld races, heavenly underworld king's shadow. Ming Xuanji roared. Very quickly, an incomparably huge black shadow appeared in front of him and launched an attack on the red stream. ****. All the strong people of the Red Mist, retreat from our battlefield. When God Emperor Hong Tian saw Ming Xuanji surrounding his subordinates, his face turned extremely ugly. With so many of his subordinates around him, he couldn't go all out. However, Ming Xuanji didn't have any scruples. With a wave of energy, several weaker disciples around him died instantly. Quick, quick, quick! One by one, the experts of the Red Mist race fled in different directions. Among them, several 9th Order God Emperor realm experts of the Red Mist race were horrified. They quickly dodged to the side, far away from the battlefield between Emperor God Hong Tian and Ming Xuanji. Die. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes when he saw the chaos in the Red Mist race. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Whoosh! He pushed his speed to the limit and locked his gaze on several 8th Order God Emperor realm magi from the Red Mist race. Not good. The Dragon Palace's Dragon King is attacking us. Attack him. Defend dodge. The several 8th Order God Emperor realm experts from the Red Mist race paled, and they roared at the top of their lungs. Die. Wang Xian didn't even need to use any of his abilities to kill 8th Order God Emperor realm experts. His arm transformed into a terrifying dragon claw that was several thousand meters long as it swept out, grabbing the 3/8 Order God Emperor realm experts in his hand. Bam bam bam. The destructive power immediately took away the vitality of the 3/8 Order God Emperor realm experts. Surround him. All 9th Order God Emperor realm experts surround him. When the 4 9th Order God Emperor realm experts from the Red Mist race saw this, their expressions changed drastically. Whoosh! However, Wang Xian didn't fight them head-on. He flapped his wings and flew to the side, hunting the weaker God Emperors around him. Arg! Not good, Great Elder, save us. The group of magi who were close to him couldn't resist at all. They screamed in fear. Several of them flickered and tried to escape. Dragon eyes lock on the 8 desolations. Wang Xian's dragon eyes shone brightly. Chains appeared in front of them instantly. Their illusory bodies were instantly pulled out, and the chains pierced through them. No. Terrified voices came from their mouths. Kill him, kill him. When the 4 emperor gods from the Red Mist clan saw that, their faces darkened, and they roared angrily. Whoosh! Wang Xian didn't hesitate. Relying on his incredible speed, he flew towards a group of people and locked onto them. Run, run, run! It's that devil! It's that devil! The people from the three-eyed race who were locked onto were shocked. The leader of the three-eyed race was trembling violently as he screamed in fear. Previously, this guy had wiped out all the elites of their 2 races. Now they were being hunted by this devil again. This made the leader of the three-eyed race feel suffocated and hopeless. They had already submitted to the Red Mist race, and a peak god emperor realm Magus. A bunch of idiots who have a death wish. Die! Wang Xian looked at the three-eyed race with eyes filled with killing intent. His dragon claw swept across. Bam, bam, bam. The destructive dragon claw swept across, covering 500 to 600 god emperors from the three-eyed race. No! Don't kill me! Desperate voices rang out, but they were soon silenced. Roar, roar, roar! At this time, a 1,000-meter-tall giant that looked like a boulder let out a roar and charged towards Wang Xian. Exploding mountain giant. Humph! Wang Xian snorted coldly. Seeing the huge exploding mountain giant, he flapped his wings and dodged his attack easily. Then he flew towards the first race again. There were many war pets from the Red Mist race. Since he couldn't kill them, he would kill the war pets. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.